Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show, and today we've got another fire episode for you. We're talking billionaire minded, 8 traits to master to create wildly successful, financially successful habits for 2023 that will transform your family's financial tree over the years to come. But you gotta tap in. 8 traits to master or to begin to master in 2023. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and all your brand, smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it this morning.
Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life Academy studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're still helping everyday hardworking Americans take their gifts, talents, special abilities, and turn them into digital-based businesses around digital products where you can teach, you can coach, you can train, you can sell software. Leverage your gifts and turn them into a business. Allow them, like the Bible says, to make room for you at the top. You can test drive the Monetize My Life Academy system for just $1 at monetizemylifeacademy.com. Today, we're talking billionaire minded, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know, if you've been following the show for a while, even going back to Talking Money in the Morning live days, y'all know, man, that I am on my way to billions. That's right, baby. Billions with a B. Why stop at millions when God has given me so much that I could turn into something amazing? Do me a favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and all your brand, smash that share button. Ladies and gentlemen, tag a person or two, and we're going to get down to business today. But before that, a couple quick announcements. If you're already in Monetize My Life Academy, check your email. There's a couple emails coming out today. I got a survey going out because I want to know if Saturday workshops would be more beneficial to you than Tuesday night office hours. Chances are we're going to do them both, but I don't want to start a Saturday workshop if Saturdays don't work for you guys either. But I'm excited about what's coming down the pipe. And I'm actually going to block out a week, not next week, but the week after, where we're going to do some training every day of the week so that there's multiple times for you guys to get in on some of that training. New product alert, ladies and gentlemen, listen. If you've been trying to run Facebook ads, and no, boosting a post is not a Facebook ad, right? But if you're trying to run Facebook ads for your service-based business and you've been struggling, you can't get them to work right, well, guess what? Facebook ads magic is in the building. You can literally launch your ads in just 3 clicks. We've got proven templates, dozens and dozens of them for 23 different industries. You pick the template, the copy is already written, the headline is already dope, the image or the video is already there, and click, click, click. You set your ad budget and you are off to the races. This thing is sweet, and I'm excited to be able to add it to our offerings at Local Biz Marketing Pros. So check that out. There's a link in the comment. It takes you to a short 2-minute video that you can watch and get an idea of just how simple it is to run your Facebook ads. So no need to hire an ads agency anymore. Boom, you can just do everything right there. Simple and plain. I think that's it for our announcement. So y'all know how we do, man. Every episode of the Cortez Hustle Show, we start them all the same way. We officially start the show with a quote of the day. And today's quote says this: wealth begins in the mind long before it shows up in the wallet or the pocketbook. Wealth begins in the mind long before it show up in the wallet or the pocketbook. You've got to think like wealthy people, which is going to cause you to speak like wealthy people. Those words will ultimately become the actions that you take. Those actions will then become wealthy habits. And when you have wealthy habits and you do them long enough, you start to develop wealthy people character. And when you have the character of a wealthy person, then wealth becomes your destiny, ladies and gentlemen. But it all starts with how you believe. Some people literally do not believe that they can get wealthy in a lifetime. Well, let me clue you in on a little secret. According to the studies that they done in this book right here, The Millionaire Next Door, 80% of all millionaires today are first generation wealthy, meaning they did not get a lump sum of money as an inheritance. They did not have someone invest $100,000 for them to start a business. They built it from scratch in a single generation, right? That means over the course of 40 years, they started in middle-class families. Some of them started in poor families. Some of them started in, average background, working class, and they figured some things out. You know what they figured out? They figured out that I got to start believing first that I can have wealth. I got to start thinking like wealthy people. I got to start talking like wealthy people. I've got to start acting like wealthy people, not going and buy $1,000 watch that you can't afford, not buying a foreign car you can't afford. That's not what I mean when I say acting like wealthy people. That means, what are the habits? We're going to go over some of them today that wealthy people have as it relates to how they move throughout their job, their career, their life, their family. You start acting like wealthy people. You create wealthy people habits, and those habits create the character of wealth around you, and wealth becomes your destiny. So wealth begins in the mind long before it shows up in the wallet or the pocketbook. So continue like I do. I find something about wealth to study every single month because I want to know what they know. Because I realize this, ladies and gentlemen, they're not smarter than me. They don't work harder than me. They just know something I don't know. And if I can find out what that is and I can execute on that myself, then God is no respecter of persons. If they can do some activities and get a wealthy result, then if I found out those activities, I found out the way they think and behave and the habits they have, and I start executing on those things, then I can have a wealthy life as well. But it starts with how you believe, man. You got to believe that you can have it. You got to believe that it is your birthright. You got to believe that it already belongs to you. And that's how I believe. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by FB Ads Magic. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you Facebook ads has never gotten easier, right? What would it be for you to know what the most popular and powerful Facebook ads campaign ever created in your industry was so you can model it, right? That's what Facebook ads magic is. Not only can you model it, we've already modeled it for you and we put it in a template. So all you got to do is 3 clicks and you're running Facebook ads. Choose your category, choose the template, choose your budget, and boom, you're off to the races getting quality leads. And of course, y'all know we got the sales opportunity system over here at Local Biz Marketing Pros. So we've got all the automated email, text message, and follow-up that you can ever imagine. So check out localbizmarketingpros.com/FB-ads-magic. Links in the comments and the show notes. So I pulled this article up today or yesterday as I was thinking. On Free Game Fridays, we normally answer your questions about branding, about marketing, about business. I'm still down to do that for you, but some of y'all are so shy that y'all don't ask questions. So I've got to have some content ready for y'all, whether y'all ask questions or not. And this article is found on Beyond Insurance. Let me grab the link for y'all so we can throw it in. And we're going to talk about these 8 traits that if you start to master these things and you start to really hone in on executing these on a daily basis in your life, wealth is a result, right? I listened to Myron Golden not long ago, and he said, I don't set goals, I set intentions. And he said, I find out processes and procedures that create a particular result, right? He said, I find out processes and procedures that create a particular result. And then I focus all of my attention on mastering the process and procedure. And by default, the result is going to show up. So these are traits that have ended up in wealthy. The end result is wealth, right? If you execute these traits over a long period of time, the end result is wealth. So let's get into that today, right? Most people believe that billionaires are born with it and that the bulk of their success comes from innate personality traits. But Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck disagrees. She believes that billionaires have a growth mindset. They believe that an outcome is dynamic rather than fixed. They embrace the possibility of failure and reframe it as a necessary foundation for success. Did y'all hear that? They embrace the possibility of failure. As I'm building this multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate, I know there's going to be failures along the way. And I'm embracing that, but I reframe it as part of the success formula. I had to stumble and fall there so I can develop greater balance. Oh, I think I'm too fired up for some of y'all this morning. I had to make that choice, which resulted in me embarrassing myself so I can extract the lesson that came out of the process that I went through to make the choice in the first place, so I can refine my process for making choices that's going to help me down the road. Oh man, y'all got to embrace the possibility of failure and reframe it as a necessary foundation for success. They have systems in place to learn and improve in the future and refuse to waste time proving over and over how great they are. They just get on with their business, y'all. They just get on with their business, right? I look at some people get so upset with me when I post a controversial post on my social profiles, and when they have something to say in disagreement with what I posted, and my comeback is always the same. I appreciate your engagement. I don't have time to argue with people about their differences of opinions, but I do consider them, all of them, because that's how you grow. You can never grow if all you do is sit back and talk to people who agree with you 100% of the time. No, I want people to challenge my way of thinking, and I'm willing to dissect my own way of thinking to see if I'm truly right or wrong. Some people don't want to be in conversations with people who disagree with them because they're afraid that they may be proven to be wrong. But that's where growth takes place. Dweck's research shows that the mindset you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. It can determine whether you become a billionaire and accomplish the things you value. So, she did her research. There's a billionaire census of 2022. Billionaires display the following 8 key traits. You can learn and apply them in your own life. And people say, well, Cortez, man, there's no way you can become a billionaire in a single lifetime. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Robert F. Smith. He's the richest Black man ever in America. He was not born rich. He's now worth about $8 billion. He's probably, I know he's younger than 60 years old. So in a single lifetime, he went from zero working class family to worth $8 billion. I think that's what his net worth is. Let me double check. Let me see. Robert F. Smith net worth. Let's see. Yep, I was right. $8 billion, right? That's a single generation, a single lifespan, right? It's all about how you believe, though. I believe that all things are possible for me because I love the Lord and I'm called to his purpose. Now, that's what I believe. Now, he may have a different plan for me. He may say, well, the most I need you to really have, Cortez, is 100 million. I might not get to $1 billion, but that doesn't stop me from aspiring to, right? I hope this is making sense for y'all today. So let's get into these 8 traits, right? According to the Billionaire Census 2022, right? So note to self, Cortez, go look up Billionaire Census 2022, and let me read more than just what they wrote here, right? Number 1 of these 8 traits that all billionaires have in common. About 67% of the 3,311 billionaires in the world are self-made and extremely innovative. Wait a minute. See, as I ask myself these 6 crucial questions, one of the questions that I ask myself is, what do I have? Right? So I asked myself these 6 questions at the beginning of the year. Cortez, what do you really want? Why do you really want it? What are you willing to give up to get it? What do you have? You know what I have, y'all? That has always been something that I didn't necessarily like about myself, right? But now I know it's a superpower. 2 things: creative genius and patience. Right? So I have a trait that 67% of all billionaires have, is they are extremely innovative. Some, like Bill Gates, invented a useful product, while Melanie Perkins, Canva co-founder, innovated a new online design platform. They trust in their ability to bring fresh ideas that benefit customers into reality. They trust their abilities. Let's hang out here for a second real quick, because I got to ask you, do you trust in your abilities? Do you trust in your abilities to bring fresh ideas into the economy, into the marketplace? You know what it takes to develop that trust? You know what it takes to bring those creative ideas that we all have. God created us in his image. What is God at the essence? He is a creator. So he created all of us to be many creators. So all of us have an aspect of his creativity in us. So we all have the ability to be innovative and creative. But you know what most of us lack though? Because to truly be creative, to truly be innovative, it takes courage. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all sit with that for a second. It takes courage, right? Think about Bill Gates saying, man, I want to create something that's going to allow everybody in the world to have a computer in their fingertips. The reason it takes courage is because most people who are not visionary in their thinking will say, man, old Billy boy is off his rocker. He's lost it. I thank God that Bill Gates is not like most of us. Because most of us would have said this outlandish thing that we attempt to bring to the world, and as we attempt to bring it to the world, people get in our ear and be like, man, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work, and we put it on the shelf somewhere. I thank goodness that Steve Jobs didn't put his idea for Apple on the shelf because people around him couldn't see it. It takes courage to be innovative. And a lot of us lack that courage, and we lack that courage because of fear. And what are we afraid of? Most fear, in my opinion, this ain't no research, this ain't no study, this is Cortez. I believe that almost 100% of all fear comes from what we think other people will think about what we're doing. We're not afraid to fail because we fail all the time. All throughout life, it's a series of failures and lessons and reboots. So we failed before. We're not afraid of failing. But what we are afraid of is that other people might think we're a failure. So we don't try anything that carries any amount of risk. Anything that can risk me becoming embarrassed, anything that can risk bringing up on a little bit of shame to my name, anything that has any risk attached to it, we shy away from that stuff because of what we think other people will think about us if it doesn't work out. Right? That's why it takes courage to be innovative. All right, so we're gonna keep on with these 8. I'm gonna hit all 8 today. Some of them I'm gonna have to hit really fast because I've got the new segment, Portrait of a Millionaire, coming up as well. So y'all sit tight. Let's right now get into some 1-minute motivation. If you're new to the Cortez Hustle Show, every episode we do something called 1-minute motivation. That's where we share a short motivational clip, usually 60 to 90 seconds. So I'm gonna ask you to comment some of your biggest takeaways. I'm gonna give you some of my biggest takeaways. So let's get into some 1-minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you're thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Stay in it. Stay focused.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game.
But you can choose in the midst of all of this that's going on to be happy in spite of life's challenges. See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. Well, guess what? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Ooh-wee, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if that fired y'all up like it fired me up. Well, I guess, to be honest, it didn't take much to fire me up these days because I am a man on fire. I live my life on fire. But there's a couple things that really I hope you guys got. Comment in the chat, man. What was one of your biggest takeaways? What did you hear, man? This is amazing for me. One of the things he said, when you feel like giving up, don't. And what you have to understand about successful people, I heard Whoopi Goldberg and Leslie Jones on the show that they do. Leslie Jones is a comedian, and she really came up when she hit Saturday Night Live, right? And she talked about feeling like giving up. Some people always ask her this question: why do you? Well, tell us about when you almost quit comedy. And she said it wasn't that I almost quit comedy. It was when she first tried to get Saturday Night Live and they turned her down. She was like, man, I've already been in this thing for a while. How much more am I going to give to this before I make a pivot, right? So what she was saying is that feeling like giving up is normal. And I think we don't understand that. I think when we start feeling like, oh, man, this is tough. Like, I've been at this thing for 8 years. Publicly, from the pages y'all seeing this on, this all started like in 2015. Now, my entrepreneurial endeavors go way back, right? To 94, 95. But really, as this online marketing and this branding and this podcasting and this content creation, like 8 years, right? And I look at people who come in the game, and it didn't take them 8 years to get to where I am and surpass me, right? So sometimes you will feel like, is all of this worth it? Feeling like quitting, feeling like giving up is normal. But folks, millionaires ain't normal, right? Quitting is normal for most people. Millionaires ain't normal though. Successful people aren't normal though. So while you feel like quitting, which is normal, the normal course of action is to actually quit. But you're a successful person. Successful people aren't normal, so they don't quit. Don't quit. What's up, big bro? Don't listen to outside chatter, people calling you crazy, saying it ain't gonna work. That's huge. It's going to happen. And to my next point, he said, who are they? And I really want y'all to break this question down. When you're aspiring to do something great and the naysayers start to chatter, I want you to really ask yourself, who are they? Not who is that person saying that I can't do it. What I'm saying is, who are they in their authority to speak over my life as it relates to what I can or cannot do? So when people are saying, Cortez, there's no way you can be a billionaire in one lifetime, I'm asking, who are you to tell me what I can or cannot be? Who are you in your level of accomplishments? What have you done to even put yourself in a position of authority to utter such things in my direction? You got to start asking yourself, who the hell are they? And then last but not least, be relentless. You know, every day that you wake up, you get to choose how you're gonna feel that day. See, your feelings or things that you sometimes can't control. But the meaning you give to the feeling, you have 100% control over. So you have to understand how to give the right meanings to the feelings that you have. And then the meaning that you've given to that feeling creates a different motive. You can choose to be happy, right? Just like you can choose to be sad. You can choose to be angry. You can choose to be ungrateful. There are people in this world, we would love to have some of the things that they have and the status and the position and the wealth that they have, but they sad as all get out because they're choosing to look at things that they've given a meaning to some of the things that they have in their life that maybe I wouldn't give the same meaning to those things. Everybody got their problems. I'm not saying that if you get some money, your problem's going to go away. That's not what I'm saying. But I just know me that I'm going to give a different meaning to the problems than most people will, right? I'm not going to let anything rob me of my joy, my happiness, right? Myron Golden explains happiness as something that's based on happenings. So that is an outside in deal. Joy is based on internal. That's something that comes from the inside out, right? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by our good friends over at the St. Louis Griffins professional basketball franchise. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the St. Louis area and you own a business and you want to attach yourself to a brand that is exploding, you want to be able to reach anywhere from 250 to 500,000 people locally through this brand, then you need to go to stlouisgriffins.com/partnership. They are doing something amazing, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And we want to help you grow your business as we bring family-friendly entertainment to Normandy's Viking Hall on a weekly basis, y'all. This is going to be such fun. Y'all know basketball, St. Louis is a basketball town, and now we got professional basketball to give an opportunity to create jobs to help these young men continue to pursue their careers. Check out stlouisgriffins.com/partnerships to see how we can help grow your business through this explosive brand. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking 8 traits to master if you want to be financially successful. And let's be clear about this. These are the same traits that you got to master to be successful in all areas of your life. So number 1 is you got to have an innovative spirit. Now, every one of us have an innovative spirit, but we got to cultivate it. We've got to keep using that creative genius and keep putting those creative ideas out there. Like your creativity is just like any other muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, the bigger it grows. If you don't use it, it atrophies. Just like if you put somebody's leg in a cast for 6 weeks, because there's a limit in the ability to use that muscle, the muscle literally shrinks. It starts to shrivel and die. Some of us have let our creativity shrivel and die because we're too afraid to say our creative ideas out loud because of fear of what we think other people are going to say. So we don't exercise that creativity. And as a result, our creativity is dying. I realize our creativity is what makes us like our creator, right? I remember, nothing breeds creativity and ingenuity like poverty. I remember growing up and I like to fix stuff. I like to build stuff. And being raised by a single mom on welfare, we didn't have extra money to buy tools. I had a pair of pliers, a pair of vice grips that I have to borrow from somebody else, a butter knife as my flathead screwdriver, and a steak knife as my Phillips screwdriver, and a brick or something hard as a hammer. I can't tell you how much stuff I built with that though, right? I built go-karts that people would want to buy from me for their kids, right? With limited resources. Why? Because creative genius in me wouldn't let me stop, would let me not build because I was limited. So that innovative spirit has to be cultivated. It has to be practiced. It has to be executed on, right? Number 2, we're talking 8 traits to master for financial success and success in all areas of your life. Number 2, purpose and passion for their business. Billionaires tend to have more risk tolerance, emotional stability, and extroversion than non-billionaires, right? So what does that mean? They are not afraid to take risks, because at the end of the day, what is a risk going to do, right? For most of us, a risk is going to cause us to lose some money. A risk is going to cause us some embarrassment and shame, and a risk is going to maybe cause some people to laugh at us. But we know that, okay, this didn't win, but I'm going to get another creative idea, and I'm going to like if we think about Amazon, for instance, we know that the model Amazon has right now is crushing it. What we don't know is all of the thousands of initiatives that they tried and failed and flopped, and literally invested millions and millions of dollars to get something off the ground, and only to have to scrap it 6 months in. Can't be afraid of risk. They are passionate about their work and pursue their calling with energy and vigor. When a negative situation occurs in their business, they respond by creating positive outcomes, controlling their own agendas, and using their passion to drive forward in life and business. If you don't take anything else away from today's show, take this with you. Wealthy people find 1 or 2 ways to get paid for 1 or 2 things that they already love to do. Then they build a system and a brand around it. That's how I know I'm on the right track. I love talking. I love educating. I love bringing information to the forefront. So I'm finding 1 or 2 ways to get paid for 1 or 2 things that I love to do. And I'm building a brand, the Cortez Hustle Show, and a system around it. Every single one of you have 1 or 2 things that you love to do. And if you didn't have to work a job, you'd be doing those things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now you need to find 1 or 2 ways to get paid to do those things. Then build you a brand and a system around them. Number 3 on the list, this is big. Servant leadership. Billionaires are philanthropic and proactive at giving back as servant leaders. The majority serve on nonprofit boards and donate to solve world problems. They want to make a difference in the lives of their staff and people in their community. They enjoy positively contributing to the lives of other people and watching them grow and succeed. Billionaires feel more fulfilled when the people they have touched are happy. Understand this. If you don't listen to Myron Golden's work on this around the 3 things that God created us for, right? He created us to create. He created us to connect. He created us to contribute. We create things, we connect with other people, and the things that we create contribute to the betterment of the people that we are been put here to serve, right? But create something that's going to bring, a lot of us don't realize that we can make $1 and a difference at the same time. He tells a story about being asked to donate to a nonprofit organization. And the first question he always asks to the person asking him to donate is, how much have you contributed? His recommendation is to don't start a nonprofit if you don't have a for-profit to fund it. Everybody wants to start a nonprofit. The best way to build a nonprofit is to build a for-profit. See, Bill and Melinda Gates built a for-profit called Microsoft that dumps hundreds of millions of dollars into the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So when they go and ask their millionaire friends, their billionaire friends to donate to their cause, they can say, man, can you match 10% of what I donated? Oh, I just donated 10 million. Can you give me $1 million? It's a difference. There's a difference. Build you a for-profit and then let your for-profit then go out and fund a nonprofit and do good work in the community. Number 4, and then we're going to get into our Portrait of a Millionaire segment. But let's get to number 4 real quick. This is huge. This is huge. Number 4 on our list of 8 traits to master or to begin to master if you want to change yourself and become financially and personally successful in every area of your life. Number 4, personal growth and a passion for learning. This is huge. This is huge. Billionaires are curious and never stop learning or challenging themselves. Think entrepreneur Richard Branson. The Virgin Group, created in 1970, has expanded into 400 different companies, including an airline, music label, space tourism. Billionaires are curious, open-minded, and always learning. They take a world view and see the potential for change and profit where others see only what has already been done. That's that growth mindset, right? I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm curious about a lot of different stuff. And that, to be quite honest, gets me in a lot of trouble, right? It gets me in a lot of trouble. I want to send this shout out to my man, Isaac. He says, man, I'm watching from Monrovia, Liberia. I appreciate you tuning in from the other side of the world, my friend. I heard Elon Musk explain it like this. He said, having creative genius is like having a never-ending explosion going on in your head at all times. That's why I rock with Tesla. That statement right there, because I relate so much to that. Like everything I see, like someone who codes computers, for instance, it said that they walk around in this world and they see ones and zeros everywhere. As a creative genius, everywhere, everything I see problems and solutions, problems and solutions, problems and solutions, and ways to monetize, problems and solutions, ways to monetize, problems and solutions. And the reason that gets me in trouble is because I'm always starting something new before I fully built the last thing I started. Because all I see is problems and solutions, ways to monetize, problems and solutions, ways to monetize, problems and solutions. Anybody else can relate? Can anybody else relate? Right? That's the duality. Everything that's a blessing is a curse, and everything that's a curse is a blessing when you have the right perspective. So we got 4 more we're going to get into, ladies and gentlemen, but I've got to hit this new segment because I just think that this is worth repeating every single day. This new segment that we're doing is called Portrait of a Millionaire. Not what TV tells you a millionaire looks like. We're giving you the real picture of what a millionaire looks like. Some of us have interactions with millionaires every day, and we don't even know it because we don't even know what to look for. So let's get into our newest segment right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, Portrait of a Millionaire. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing we do in Portrait of a Millionaire is I give you the 7 factors of millionaires, and then I give you one little known fact about millionaires. So what are the 7 factors of a millionaire? Number 1, they live below their means. Number 2, they allocate their time, energy, and money efficiently in ways conducive to building wealth. They're intentional. Number 3, they believe that financial independence is more important than displaying high social status. Don't look like wealth and not be wealth. Don't have a $5,000 purse and not $500 to go in. Number 4, their parents did not provide economic outpatient care. Don't spoil your children. Allow them to fall. Number 5, their adult children are economically self-sufficient. If they're not, they'll drain you. You can't build wealth when you're carrying adult people with you. Number 6, they are proficient in targeting market opportunities. They see an opportunity and they take advantage of it. Number 7, they chose the right occupation. Those are 7 factors of millionaires. So let's get into this. About half of our wives do not work outside the home. The number 1 occupation for those wives who do work is teacher. Why is that significant? See, as you're building, you need the ability to have the right support system. So a lot of them, their wives are the major budgeters in the house. And a lot of them are teachers because of the hours that a teacher has to work. The teacher gets 3 months off during the summertime and they can help with the family business. So building out your wealth plan really does involve one or both of us having the right opportunities, right occupation. Somebody has to have the flexibility. Like if both of y'all are working, that's cool. Choose jobs where you got some flexibility that you can build a business on the side, because most of these guys are business owners, right? Some of the businesses that they build are not sexy, but they're incredibly profitable. So master the 7 factors of millionaires and learn what a real, true millionaire looks like. Go grab this book, man, The Millionaire Next Door. It will flat out blow your mind. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a portrait of a millionaire right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy. You should take your knowledge and turn it into an online course or a digital product business. And we want to help you. We'll give you the tools, templates, training, support, and resources to master online business. Go to monetizemylifeacademy.com. You can test drive the system for $1, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get down to these last 4 things that we have for these traits really quickly. Number 5, we're talking 8 traits that are common among billionaires. And if you start to master them in your life, you can have financial success. Number 5, independent thinkers. Billionaires trust their instincts and know when to seize opportunities. We just learned that in the trait, right? They think big, take calculated risks, refuse to let their creative imagination be hindered by others' opinions. What? You can't get caught up in what other people are thinking. That ain't none of your business. Rather than listening to naysayers, their independent thinking and reliance on their judgment propel them to sustain success. They don't listen to other people. They don't get caught up in that. They are independent thinkers. They know that while in a multitude of counselors there is wisdom, at the end of the day, it's on me to make the final decision. Right? Did y'all get that? The Bible says in a multitude of counselors, there is wisdom. You think these billionaires don't have advisory boards? Of course they do. You think they don't have mentors and coaches that they bounce things off of? But at the end of the day, I'm going to take all of that data and I've got to make a decision that I'm willing to stand on. Boom. I heard you. I heard you. I heard you, Cedric. I heard you, Mark. I heard you, Eric King. I heard you. But now I aggregated all of that data, and based on what we're discussing, I've got to make a decision that I can stand on, that I can live with, that's going to cause me to be able to sleep at night. They're independent thinkers. Number 6 on our list, we're talking 8 traits common amongst billionaires that if you were to implement them, you can get some results, better results in your finances, right? Number 6, drive and focus. Billionaires are very focused, set challenging but realistic and attainable goals, and generate big ideas. They believe in themselves and their ability to achieve their goals. By taking charge of their destiny and refusing to limit themselves, they never leave goal attainment to fate. Oh man, if it happens, it happens, right? I hear a lot of Christians say, if it's the Lord's will, if God willing. Well, read your Bible and it tells you it is his will, right? He gave you the wisdom, the ability to gain wealth. He said money answers all things, right? He wants you to, above all, prosper and be in good health. So it is his will, but you got to do the work. Faith without works. So we know what his will is, but we sit back and are literally waiting on him to open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing that we can't count or measure. The blessing that he pours out from the window of heaven is called information. It's called intuition. It's called connections. It's called relationships. It's called other people. It's called ideas that you have to then polish up. Same way you find gold as ore. It doesn't look like a gold chain when you find it. That's why people can walk right over it and not realize what they're stepping on. That's why entrepreneurs are different, because when we see the idea that everybody else has seen, we see $1 billion idea and most people see its problems. You got to learn how to identify what value is. Number 7 on this list of billionaire traits, right? Life satisfaction and health. Billionaires actively cultivate happiness and life satisfaction. They focus on practicing gratitude and enjoying the process. The positive emotions contribute to better health and longevity and increase their resilience. Because they have positive state of well-being, they are more likely to invest in healthy behaviors, for example, eating healthy and exercising. They want to be in the right atmosphere. They want to reduce stress. See, if I'm going to stress out about anything, I could just imagine as a billionaire, if I'm going to stress out about anything, it's not going to be about little stuff, right? Small-minded people stress out about little stuff. I ain't got time to stress out about little stuff. I want to save all of my stress and worry, and I want to aim it like a laser to a big project. So forgive me if I don't worry about what y'all say about me behind my back. That's little stuff. And then number 8, last on the list. Billionaires never give up. Billionaires use their people skills to persuade others to buy into their dreams. They refuse to take no for an answer and find ways to overcome any obstacle in their path. In fact, the most common traits among billionaires are their strong work ethic and refusing to give up. Don't refuse to give up, man. I mean, refuse to give up. Don't give up, right? See, Mark be listening. Mark be listening. Says the podcast that will rival Ted Turner and Walt Disney. You already know. I've already set that as an agenda. Like, okay, if they can build, think about it. Because I know we tend to, I'm thinking long range, multi-generational. But Walt Disney did this in his lifetime. Ted Turner did this in his lifetime. Walt Disney didn't get a media company passed to him that he built and added up on. Ted Turner didn't get a media company handed to him and then he built up on it. This is what I want people to get. Like these things are happening in one's lifetime. Zoom was properly positioned and went from $1 billion company to a $50 billion company during the pandemic. Why? Because they were just going about their business of solving problems, being innovative, bringing something to the marketplace, not caring what other people would say, what other people were doing. I want y'all to think about what you have and be careful not to flip that question and your answer to start talking about what you don't have. Mark says, I love my Zoom room. I'm telling you, man, it's dope, man. It's dope. So the 6 questions to ask yourself, and I know I still owe y'all some deeper videos on this, but ask yourself, what do I really want? Why do I really want it? What am I willing to give up to get it? What do I have? Who do I need to become? And why haven't I become that person already? Think about that. Ask yourself, what do you have? We default to what we don't have because that's our programming. The media has trained us to look at the bad in every situation. I want y'all to think about this. The media spends 95% of its time on the 5% of negativity that goes on in your community, which makes you think that your community is 95% bad. And because of that, we've adopted that same mentality. We focus our attention on the 5% of things going wrong in our lives. 95% of the time, that's what we're focusing on. So we think that our lives are 95% bad. I want y'all to flip that today. Yeah, I got some stuff going on. My wife lost her dad 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, we got some things going on, right? My son lost his job a month ago. So we could focus all of our energy and attention on that. But then we start looking at the bigger picture. Wait a minute. Let's look at this whole thing. Let's pull back away from the negative stuff and let's look at this whole thing. Still got a mom. I still got my mom. Brothers and sisters, we still got income. We still got this. We still got our health and strength. We start counting our blessings versus focusing on the negative. Then you start to get a whole new perspective on this thing called life. Don't let fear and anxiety cause you to not see all of the preciousness, all of the things that are going well in your life that you can be thankful for, right? Steve Harvey says, I wake up every morning and he's got a gratitude ritual. I've adopted that same gratitude ritual every morning. Wife is breathing. Oh, praise God. My bones are working well enough for me to stand up out of the bed. Oh, thank you. Got heat in the house in the winter. Even though I take cold showers, I got the ability to switch it on to hot anytime I want to. I got water running through my pipe. Like, we've got so much to be thankful for. But we've been trained to focus on the negative. Now, I'm not saying ignore the negative. Don't go down dark alleys in rough neighborhoods, right? And ignore the negative. I'm saying that shouldn't be our focus. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure this week. We'll be back at you next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about on Monday. If y'all got some ideas, man, drop them in the comments. I bring y'all what y'all want to hear, man, most of the time. So that's going to do it for us, man. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. More importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now, hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.